Noni Matikela, welcome to my YouTube channel. I want us to talk about Colonel Steyn, because Colonel Steyn made a problem for the state. And actually, it's not even his problem. He did not make a problem. He did what they asked him to do. Now, they forgot about him. And Umshololo was like, let's bring back Steyn because you guys, seemingly, you forgot what you did back in 2023. Let me show it to you. Get your popcorns because I'm about to show you things that you forgot about. Now, because this Section 205 fight has just become a whole lot more uncomfortable for the state. The state wants to introduce cell phone records after closing its case. And the explanation being advanced is essentially this. The state only became aware of the significance of Mabungu Nduli's cell phone number when accused number 3 testified. That's what they were telling the courts. That's what we heard them saying in that courtroom. Now, that sounds reasonable, right? When you are listening to them with not open ears. As people that open our ears, our eyes, and our brain and listen and consume, we were like, While we were like, then Mshololo was given a mic and Mshololo was like, let me remind you. Let me remind you. Until Mshololo goes digging through the state's own evidence. And what does she find? Colonel Steyn, a state witness under oath, testifying in July 2023. I think she said 28 July 2023. I think that's the correct date. And according to Mshololo's reading of that transcript, Steyn had already placed the very cell phone number now at the center of this Section 205 application before the court. Now, stop right there because it's about to go down. Mshololo read about 6, if not 7 numbers, 6 numbers that she said Steyn read and said they all belong to accused number 5, and all of them were read back in July 2023 when Mr. I listen, which is Judge Ratamukwateng, was listening. He doesn't remember and he doesn't say anything about it. Mr. I listen and I know all the evidence. Yes, him. That guy, that's a guy. Now, because everything now gets, that is where it gets interesting. The state is effectively saying, we only discovered this when accused number 3 testified, but Mshololo is saying, no, my lord, your own witness was already talking about this number back in 2023. We have a chronology problem, because they forgot what they brought. Now, the first problem, when did the state know? That is another issue. Let's strip away all the legal noise. Forget Section 205 for a moment. Forget accused number 3. Forget the arguments. Just look at the timeline. Colonel Steyn testified on the 28th of July 2023, according to the passage read by Mshololo, Steyn identifies multiple cell phone numbers associated with suspect number 5. Among those numbers is 079 149 0829, 21. That is the number Mshololo says the state is now trying to introduce through Section 205 records. So here is the multi-dollar or multi-million rand question. If that number was already identified in the state's evidence in July 2023, how can the state say it only became aware of it when accused number 3 testified? To top it all, they said this number belongs to Untuli. They said the number belongs to Untuli. That's the question now. That is a nasty one, of course, because we're being nasty as a state. The defense is like, let's nasty there. Let's be nasty, all of us. Because it isn't coming from some random internet commentator or some abondaba, as Beujad Rata will call us, okay? It is not coming from the defense inventing a cell phone number. It comes straight, directly from the defense pointing back to the state as back to a state witness, Colonel Steyn. Colonel Steyn, guys. And then it gets worse. Mshololo doesn't stop at saying Steyn mentioned the numbers. No, she goes further. According to her reading of Steyn's testimony, That number wasn't floating around in isolation. Steyn allegedly connected it with communications involving other accused. And this is where the state has an even bigger problem to explain. Because if the state already had evidence placing this number within its cell phone investigation, why wasn't the number investigated before the state closed its case? That's the brutal question, Kesana. Not is the evidence relevant, not even could this evidence help. The question is, why did you wait until now? Repairing broken case? Much? Now that's the state's best escape route could be what? I don't know. What can they say? Why would they say? Because this is where serious issues are becoming. Ne? The state could say, hold on, yes, Steyn mentioned the number, but mentioning a number isn't the same thing as knowing that number would become crucial to the defense. Those are things that the state can say. You know them. You know them. You know how they roll. That's the possible response you can get from Ubalo for your information. And that distinction matters because there's a difference between knowing a number exists and knowing that it's a detailed cell phone record. Its detailed cell phone records are necessary to resolve a particular factual dispute. So don't make a mistake of saying, Steyn mentioned the number, therefore the state deliberately lied. Yes, sir. State can come out. Don't even make the mistake of saying they deliberately lie. They can come out and tell us a lot of things. So that state are people that can deny things. In fact, they've done it. We've seen it happening in that case. So the questions that we are having regarding them are valid, of course, but one of the things that I liked about Mshololo, she made sure we understand Uguti, what did the state know? When did it know it? And what did it do with that knowledge? That is something that they cannot dodge. Whether Judge Rota does what, I don't care. But at this point, Mshololo was clear. Now, also, when it comes to the timing of it all, the state had its witnesses. The state had its cell phone investigation. Steyn testified back in 2023. State ultimately closed its case. Then accused number 3 gives evidence, and suddenly the state wants the cell phone records relating to this number that they claimed before via Steyn, and they accepted that, and they said it belongs to accused number 5. Jiki, now it belongs to Mabungu Ntuli. And suddenly the state wants the records relating to this number to be something that is looked at differently now. That's the sequence the defense wants the court to examine, because the defense has every right to say to the state, you had the opportunity, you had the information, you had the witness, you had the number, you could have pursued the records, you could have led the evidence, but you chose not to do that. And now, after the defense case begins producing evidence that potentially contradicts the state's version, you want another bite at the apple. That is the issue Mshololo was dealing with there. I don't know if you guys noticed that. And here is where the section becomes important. This section 205. It isn't simply, section 205 isn't simply, Judge, we found something interesting. Please let us introduce it. The court has to consider the circumstances surrounding the application. Why wasn't the evidence obtained earlier? Why was it led earlier? Is the explanation enough? Is it satisfactory? Is the evidence genuinely necessary? What prejudice will the accused suffer? And critically, is the court being asked to rescue a case that the state itself had already closed? Those are the things that Judge Rota need to double check. And that's the battlefield right now. And Mshololo is trying to move the court's attention away from this evidence might be relevant towards why wasn't the evidence brought when the state had the opportunity to bring it. That is a very much more dangerous question for the state, because why only now? Why only now? Now, Steyn also, let's go back to Steyn. This is the part that I need people to be like honestly watching very careful, because if Mshololo is effectively saying, let's go back to your own witness, Valoyi, not my witness, not accused number 3, your witness. And according to the passage she read, Steyn already identified the number. So the defense isn't asking the court to believe some completely new story. It is saying to the judge, look at the state's own record. And this is one of the oldest and most effective forms of cross-examination. You don't have to call somebody a liar. You don't shout. You don't even have to accuse them of bad faith. Sometimes you simply place version A next to version B and ask the judge, how do these two fit together? And the state's version A, we only became aware of this evidence when accused number 3 testified. Version B, Steyn's July 2023 evidence as presented by Mshololo. The number was already identified and associated with accused number 5. Now you connect the dots, because what do you mean, son? What do you mean? Now, suppose the state say, yes, Steyn mentioned the number, but we didn't appreciate its significance at that time. Fine, then explain that. Explain why. Because if your witness was already giving evidence about the number and its alleged communications with other accused, and the court is entitled to ask, what did the state's investigators do after hearing the evidence? Was there a follow-up? Was there an investigation? Was there a request for the records? Was the information disregarded? Was the number considered irrelevant at the time? Or did nobody appreciate its significance until the defense produced a competing version? Those questions suddenly become critical, because that is why all of this matters the way Mshololo put it down. This is why the word new also matters a lot. The word new sounds innocent until you break it down. But legally and procedurally, it can be loaded, because if evidence is genuinely unavailable despite reasonable efforts, that's one situation. If evidence was sitting inside your own case for years and you simply didn't pursue it, that's another. And if evidence becomes important only because your case has encountered difficulty during the defense case, that's another situation again. Those distinctions matter a lot. So the brutal question isn't, does the state want cell phone records? Of course it does. Of course it does. The question is, why now? What are you up to? And that's where Mshololo's argument has teeth. It's biting like nobody's business, because she is effectively telling the court, don't just listen to the explanation, test the explanation against the record. That's very important, because courtroom arguments can sound convincing when presented in isolation, but put them next to the transcript, then you suddenly have a factual contradiction that needs an explanation. The transcript becomes the battlefield. Now, the biggest question of them all, if Mshololo's reading of Steyn's evidence is accurate, then this isn't merely about one cell phone number. It raises broader questions about the state's handling of its own cell phone evidence. How thoroughly did the state investigate the evidence it already had before closing its case? Because if the answer, we had an information but didn't realize the significance, then the court needs to consider whether the state should now be permitted to reopen its evidential case because the defense has exposed a problem. And if the answer, we didn't actually know the number belongs to the person we are now saying it belongs to, then the court needs to understand precisely what Steyn meant when he identified the number. Either way, these are the questions that are coming out. Now, I am very proud of Mshololo and how she handled the entire situation. And Sana Mshololo, has identified a potential contradiction between the state's current explanation and its own earlier evidence. Now, that is very powerful, and that is why we are having a judge that can decide on what to do now, because you are asking the state, Umshololo asked the state to explain the contradiction, not the other way around. So if Colonel Steyn already identified the number in July 2023, why did the state wait until accused number 3 testified? And after the state had closed its case to seek a cell phone records, does that even make sense? What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'll see you. Bye-bye.